According to a CNN opinion writer, Bari Weiss is slapping health workers in the face because she's done with COVID. So Bari Weiss was just recently on Bill Maher, and there she gave one of the most epic, I would say, rants about COVID that I think we've heard in a long time. And I appreciate her bravery in saying so. And once again, I don't care if you agree or disagree. The point is what she said right? We have this problem today. We cannot sort between right and wrong. All we know is whether we agree or disagree, and everybody that disagrees should be shut down, obviously, because nobody should ever disagree with me. Needless to say, in this epic rant from Bari, she delivers some great information and some great insights and just some things to be thoughtful of, if nothing else, about COVID. So I want you to hear that here.
I'm done with COVID.
Oh,
I'm done. It's like I went so hard on COVID. I
remember.
Sprayed the Pringles cans that I bought at the grocery store, stripped my clothes off because I thought COVID would be on my clothes. Like, I did it all. I watched Tiger King. I got to the end of Spotify. Like, we all did it, right?
And no, we didn't all do it.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of us did do it. And then we were told, you get the vaccine. You get the vaccine and you get back to normal. And we haven't gotten back to normal. And it's ridiculous at this point. I know that so many of my liberal and progressive friends are with me on this, and they do not want to say it out loud because they are scared to be called anti-vax or to be called science denial or to be, smeared as a Trumper. I'm sorry, if you believe the science, you will look at the data that we did not have 2 years ago, and you will find out that cloth masks do not do anything. You will realize that you can show your vaccine passport at a restaurant and still be asymptomatic and carrying Omicron. And you will realize, most importantly, that this is going to be remembered by the younger generation as a catastrophic moral crime. The city of Flint, Michigan, which is 80%, I think, minority students, has just announced indefinite virtual schooling. In the past 2 years, we've seen among young girls a 51% increase in self-harm. People are killing themselves. They are anxious. They are depressed. They are lonely. That is why we need to end it, more than any inconvenience that it's been to the rest of us. I think.
Now, we probably all know this. The COVID club is a real thing. You're either part of the club or you're not. So this really isn't even about anti-vax or pro-vax. This is about whether or not you're willing to toe the line and be a part of the tribe. And COVID has presented to us the worst instance of tribalism that I've seen in a long time. And we could dig into that a little bit further and talk about the evils of tribalism that COVID has created, which I think is showing up in the ill effects that it's having on schools and school-aged children, which right now, they're in a lot of trouble, by the way. If the school district doesn't get things right with COVID, they're going to find that there's a rude awakening for them in the future. So the tribe of COVID is injuring kids and it's injuring the school district. But I don't want to go there as much as I just want to say this. I have a solution for the incredible tribalism of our time. I have two thoughts that could change everything, specifically with COVID tribalism. Now, fair warning, these are pretty radical ideas, so you may want to brace yourself. Put on a helmet if you need that. Trigger warning here. The first approach that we could take to tribalism, and specifically COVID tribalism, is we could leave each other alone. After all, if the science is so powerful and the government is our daddy, then surely it's powerful enough to protect us, even from those who disagree with us. Maybe even powerful enough to protect us from those with natural immunity, which we know is better than vaccine immunity, by the way. So we could leave each other alone. Second, you could place your faith in something bigger than the government and bigger than corrupt bureaucrats. I know, crazy suggestion. But it's possible that if we start focusing on something bigger than ourselves, we might even actually find the power to improve ourselves. The power to make ourselves better that can come from faith in something bigger than ourselves. And with that power, we could go back to the first suggestion. We'll find the source of strength to improve ourselves, and in so doing, we'll discover that improving ourselves and taking care of ourselves is a full-time job. Now, I'm not suggesting that we don't need to pioneer causes and that we don't need to stand up for things like the unborn. I've never had an abortion and I'm not a woman, but I still believe in my right to stand up for life and to stand up for the unborn. Why? Because it's good. And that category still exists. But we'll never be able to discover good and bad in those categories as long as we're so preoccupied with what everybody else is doing. We might also discover that there's still room to make a difference in others' lives and to even engage in holy and good activism if we're basing it on something bigger than our own personal opinion. Now, isn't that the real thing at the end of the day? Whenever you find people like those on The View who want their personal opinion to matter more than it should, and they want to impose that upon others, now that's a problem. But when truth is on your side, then you fight. And you fight like hell, and you fight for the right reasons, and you stand up for it, just like those in Canada, and just like Joe Rogan.
You can catch brand new episodes of Indie Thinker with Reed Huberman every Monday and weekly bonus episodes to keep you thinking throughout the week. But you have to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when new episodes drop. If you enjoy this content, make sure to like this video and share it with friends.